Alright guys, what's going on here, and welcome back to another episode of Subdivisions of Southern Illinois. And this time we are going to be looking at the Norfolk Southern West District, the old Southern line. The Southern West District was formerly owned by the Southern Railway until Norfolk Southern took over the line in 1982. The Norfolk Southern Southwest District does not have much to offer at all, with only getting 6 to 8 trains a day, and sometimes there are also extras that run around, such as coal trains, nuclear flask trains, or any other special trains at all. The NS Southwest District isn't the worst, but it isn't the best either as a rail fan on. You just gotta be there at the right time, you know. So anyway, the daily trains that run on the Norfolk Southern, 6 of them, we have NS Train 110 from Louisville, Kentucky to Kansas City, Missouri. NS 110 also has a counterpart train called 125, which instead goes from Kansas City to Louisville, Kentucky. NS 125 it heads eastbound and 110 heads westbound. Then there are 2 more sets of mixed freights called 167 and 168. 167 is an eastbound that goes from St. Louis, Missouri to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And while 168 heads west and does the complete opposite, as they are also counterparts. That's all the manifests that run on the Southwest. Then we also have 2 intermodal trains as well, NS trains 223 and 224. 223 is usually full of intermodal containers, while 224 has intermodal containers and autoracks, sometimes also containing truck frames. NS 223 goes from St. Louis, Missouri to Jacksonville, Florida, headed eastbound, while 224 goes from Jacksonville, Florida to St. Louis, Missouri, headed westbound. Then there is also an NS local that runs Monday through Friday, but takes Saturday and Sunday off. And that is NS train D76, which starts in Centralia and terminates in Wayne City. NS D76 also has to stop in Mount Vernon, Illinois to do work at Milano Metals. NS D76 used to stop in Fairfield, Illinois, but now it's back to the way things were. NS now originates out of Wayne City like it used to a long time ago. NS D76 is pretty much the NS local on the Southwest. Usually does not contain very many cars and usually only has 1 NS Jeep for power. But if you get lucky though, a high hood will appear occasionally. Of course though, that's not all the trains that will run on the Southwest District. We also have as needed and extra trains as well. One of the most as needed trains that you see on the NS are coal trains. There are a lot of various coal trains, but none of them being daily. For example, 430 and 431. There's also 71X, 72M, 896, 797. There's a lot of train symbols for coal trains on the NS, but they always vary. The ones that run the most, though, are 430 and 431. NS 430 heads eastbound, while 431 goes west. Usually, even numbers are east and odd numbers are west. Usually. The NS train 430 will then get off the NS at Mount Vernon and head over to the Evansville and Western. Then we'll return a couple days later headed back westbound as 431. NS trains 430 and 431 will also head to the BNSF Beardstown sub by taking the BNSF in Centralia, Illinois. I do not have any footage of neither of these moves at all. But there are other coal trains that will not get off the NS and will just stay on the NS. For example, there are 2 very rare coal trains, 402 and 403. NS trains 402 and 403 almost never run on the Southwest. Hearing about a 402 and 403 is rare. It usually goes to Duke Energy somewhere in Indiana. But I've only caught NS 403 in my lifetime, and I've never even caught its counterpart 402. But seeing a 402 and 403 is rare. Now, how can you tell? Well, the coal cars don't look normal. They're older coal cars that actually say NS on them, and sometimes Conrail. NS 402 and 403 are my favorite types of coal trains because they got the best looking kind of cars on there. Occasionally, though, you'll see something like this. What is this, you may ask? This is called a nuclear flask. Occasionally, NS will haul nuclear flasks on the Southwest line. I've heard about a couple runs. NSD 76 had a nuclear flask not too long ago, and last year in January of 2020, I caught NS 060 with a nuclear flask car. That's also one of the extras that will run. There's also military trains that will occasionally run on the NS. Then there's the OCS, of course, which I have caught before. And then there's also occasionally grain trains and potash trains that will take the NS. Potash trains come from the Canadian Pacific, but the grain trains are just NS. Symbols will always vary. There's been NS 56X, 54E, it all varies. The NS Southern West District to me is kind of boring, but if I were you though, if you are around the area, I suggest you check out the Southern West District one day. But you should probably go to Centralia for that so you can catch some other trains just in case NS goes to sleep on you. Anyway, that's all the dailies and extra trains that I know that'll run on the Southwest District. For me, honestly, I don't usually go on this line very often. The only reason why you still see me filming NS trains is because I'm in Centralia. But anyway here, if I were to rate the NS Southwest District, I would give this line a 3 out of 10. This line, honestly, sucks a lot. But it still gets more trains than the Beardstown sub, at least. But anyway, that's all that I know about the NS Southern West District there. So, I will show you a compilation of trains that I have caught on the NS Southern West District, including symbols as well. Enjoy.
used to being in 4 years ago. And he's moving like a snail.
Alright, I'll be right back. Tell your mom. I'll be right back. Tell your mom that I'll be right back.